This is my Aunt Rhonda Mathis. She lives in Louisville on the West End, and she has served the community for many years as a community activist. Aunt Rhonda, could you please just tell us a little bit about yourself and just the time that you've served in the community?
Um, I'm a native Louisvillian. I grew up in the area called Smoketown, the oldest African American community at one time. My parents migrated from Birmingham, Alabama, where my mother followed her sister here, uh, and they had 12 children. I'm the eighth child of 12. I attended Booker T, Nicholas Spencer, Jackson Junior High. We all graduated from Central. I got involved in justice serving in my community from a friend who um, took me to a meeting with the Kentucky Alliance Against Racism and Political Repression because during that time it was a lot of Klan activity going on, police brutality, and inequities in the school system. And those are the areas that we were organizing around. And during that time, we held a lot of rallies and organized people to demonstrate to make a change in regards to in regards to systematic changes within the system that was taking place that was affecting our African American males, our students in the education and in the system because we were seeing more black men being locked up and them making a dollar off of them in the private industry of the prison industrial complex. And educationally, our kids were not being served, even though times had changed in regards to the Brown versus Boyd decision. We were going backwards as far as education, and they were setting up these programs were predominantly for white children, busing them into the West End, but they set up programs in the school systems, and they had two different school systems, one for blacks and more or less more for the well-to-do and white, and for the white counterparts. So, I was involved in organizing parents involved in education for those parents to be more involved and understand the educational system where they were going because many of them were going but didn't understand how to navigate the school system. And so for them to be better prepared to ask the right questions in regards to making sure their child was placed in programs that would serve their needs. At that time, it was a lot of police killings going on, and we was hosting, having our own, like having people come and tell us about what they were observing in regards to the police department, and we organized and demonstrated to get some changes within that department. Um, what else you want to know?
What do you feel are some of the major concerns in the community?
Economics, economics, our environment, because we, as Algonquins, they had a refinery, but as research that was done, a lot of were dying of cancer because of the air that we were breathing down here. With the rubber town, we have these major plants, and they are not monitoring themselves and letting out stuff that is harming us even during the night. So those are the type of issues I have been involved with as far as serving people where I live in the West End.
With all your work in education and police brutality and just serving in the community, do you feel that changes have come, or are we still faced with some of the same problems?
We are still faced with some of the same problems, different names, different people, but same problems. As far as economics, with the school system, we had someone that he was big enough to address uh, the school board and put them on Front Street. We need more people of courage to do that, and particularly white people to speak up because they know the inequities that's serving uh, us in this community. And even with our mayor, with this methane plant, and wanted sell us a bill of goods in regards to a food port when we know it's entirely in something different. But we know that we need people who have the education, the resources to stand up to make a difference for equity for everyone and not just for a few.
What are your thoughts on discrimination and racism, not only in our community but as in society in
And in
America?
society, it's still here in America. We don't want to face it, but it's still here, and it's evident. You know, even though the speech, they may wear a different suit, or in regards to that, it's not as blatant, but it's still an undercurrent. Even now, with well, so Social Security, and they're trying to say that that the gas thing is going down, but it's affecting more poor black folks than anyone. So it's still prevalent in society.
How do you feel about members of your community staying within the community?
I wish that our young people who are fortunate enough to go away and get a good education, that will come back into their communities and make a difference. As Du Bois said, the talent and tints, we are losing that. And we need our young people who I know they can be more mobile, but they could really make a difference. There's no success without successors. And we do have some conscious young folks who try to make a difference, trying to be a voice for the people. But we need more because we are going to lose ourselves as a people. It's not just one, it's everyone getting involved. They say united we stand, we divided we fall. But we are divided as a nation, as a neighborhood, as a community. We need people of goodwill who's willing to look out for the common good of all people so we can sustain ourselves on this planet.
Thank you,
You're
Auntie. You're so
welcome, my baby.
Mwah.